Well, all right. It is Thursday, March 14. It's just a little after 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I have wrapped up my day. A back-to-back 4-0 day today. I was 4-0 yesterday, and I again am 4-0 today. And it's great to see days like this. Just feels like I am finally now starting to see some consistency, especially coming off of a tough week last week where I lost the most trades in a single week that I have lost trading this particular strategy. It's nice to see that 4 days into the week and I am 11-1, 92%, and back-to-back 4-0 days. So things are headed in a good direction here with 1 day left to go, hoping to finish out the week strong tomorrow. And you can check me out every day, starting at approximately 10 a.m. East Coast to 12:30. On the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time, my start is 7 a.m. to about 9:30 every day. And Apex has started their 80% discount again today. They announced it last night. So you can use this code or any other if you're looking to pick up some Apex evaluations. My recommendation is Apex. I think they're the best prop firm out there. They're the only one I use, and I know they pay out, and I know that they abide by their rules. And as long as you follow their rules and understand their rules, if you qualify your accounts to either pass to get funding or pass to qualify for a payout, you don't have to worry about it. It's clearly not a scam. A lot of people think it's a scam. I originally thought it was a scam, but I've put my research into it. I know a lot of people that have received their payouts, and I trust them. So I continue to trade with them. And for me, all I can say is I've used them. I haven't gotten a payout yet, but only because I haven't qualified for a payout yet. So I have every belief and trust that when I do qualify, if I qualify, there will not be any issues with payment, because I won't be breaking any of the rules. I certainly will not be breaking the 30% consistency rule. As you can see, my longest traded PA account, I've traded for 29 days. Actually, I'm just realizing I don't think I was updating the days while I was trading today. So I will have to confirm these trading days, but they're all over the necessary limit of how many trading days you need for anything. So it doesn't really matter at this point, but I want to keep track so that once I finally do get a payout, especially on the PA accounts, once I do get a payout, the next trading day would restart at 1. And so that's why I'm keeping track in this column here. But yeah, I think I have to update that. I don't think I was doing that today as I was working through the day. So anyway, overall, as you can see, these accounts added up here equals about $700 overall. So, you can see that trading one account at a time, you don't even need to use a trade copier. I could have had a $700 day. Now, of course, this is not real money. I don't look at it like real money. These are just tickets that I am receiving that I hope to turn in for a prize. And on my evaluation, the prize will be to pass the evaluation and to get a funded PA account. And on the PA accounts, the prize after I get enough tickets, which in this case on the 50K is to make $2,600 in profit, I'll turn in my tickets and receive my $2,000 payout. So you can see here I'm now about $1,000 away. The closest I've been was 600 away. So still more work to do. This was one of the, this was the smallest profit of the day, happened to land on that account. But I don't worry about how much I'm making per trade. There's a minimum I'm willing to make, and this is probably about the most minimum you'll see me make on a single trade, the very least. And so far, if you look at PA6, this is probably about the, I could point at it up here. this is the least you'll see me make on a single trade probably. And so far, this is probably the most I've made on a single trade since I've invoked my auto stop strategy for my ATM. $236 on a single trade. Or actually, no. Let me take that back. PA6. $272 on a single trade on PA number 6. It's probably, I'm pretty sure is the most I've made on a single trade so far, and is kind of at the upper limits of what I'll make. So finding consistency, 11-1 for the week, and 2 back-to-back 4-0 days. Things are headed in the right direction. Let's drill down and look at my 4 trades for the day and get through this so that I can go on with my day and go from there. All right, so as you can see, this is the first chart I used today. And when I got started on my stream this morning, it was just after 7, right around in this area, maybe close to 7:05. Price was working back up. We had already had a major sell-off. I mean, straight down before I had started. Really, not long after the open of the regular New York hour session. So then, zooming in here, you can see that we're moving up. Now, when this trade was setting up, I was like kind of thinking to myself, I'm hoping it's going to set up closer to the previous day close, which is this kind of dashed purple line here. And this was looking like it was going to form a more bearish bar, but it didn't form that way. As you can see, it's more kind of like a doji closed in the middle. And I still took this trade. And this is like a good example of a trade where if you're trading like PATS, for instance, the way Mac teaches it, you wouldn't take this trade because it's not a bearish enough bar, even though you do have a first entry short, second entry short when it ticks below this bar. And this is why I've stripped myself of all the max price action trading rules. I've thrown them out. I don't care about signal bars. I don't care about drawing trend lines, like, where are you going to draw your trend line here? Are you going to draw it this way? Are you going to draw it this way? Are you going to draw it, are you going to draw it this way? Are you going to draw it, there's so many ways. It's very subjective. I'm not doing that anymore. I trade with no rules. All I do when I look at my charts for the day, I look for 4 tick charts where every single entry works for my profit target. When I say entry, I'm looking for second entries. So every single second entry on this chart has worked for my profit target before I took my first trade. And so I'm just banking on the fact that this chart is consistently working for my profit target. And so when the next entry comes, I'm going to take it. And so this isn't at any kind of key level. This isn't, a strong signal bar. There's probably all kinds of reasons for people that trade max way to say that's a bad trade. It doesn't matter to me. I know that I have a consistently good looking chart or consistently good working chart for my entries and my profit targets, and I'm taking the trade, and it worked. And not only did it work, but this is the biggest win I've had, like I mentioned just a bit ago. This is the biggest win I've had on my scalp using this system. I used to go for only 11 ticks. Sorry, just got a text. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So, I was going for 11 ticks previously. Now I'm going for, I try to get 10, 11, 12 ticks on average, but I have an auto stop that does a tight auto trail as the price moves. And so if I can get more, I try to capture more. In this case, I captured 36 ticks. So that was awesome. That's the most I've ever captured, which is 9 points. So that was great. And it happened to land on PA6, which was the first account that I traded on, because I spin a wheel and it randomly chooses which accounts I trade on for the day. And so the first trade was PA6, and I made $272 on that single trade. So that was great. Then moving on, first entry, second entry here. I like this one. It's right off of the previous day low, and you can see it was starting to act as support. And, you know, I was a little bit hesitant, honestly, because there was all these bars stacking up, and, you know, seemed like kind of a questionable area to trade just because of that, with not much room to the high of these candles. But then I decided, because my wheel had picked evaluation 35, I decided, okay, well, evaluation 35 was my worst standing account. It was in the 48,000 range before today. And so I decided, you know what, if I blow up the account, it doesn't matter anyway. It's my worst standing account, and it's going to renew in like 6 or 7 more trading days. So I decided to just go ahead and trust the chart, and it won. Unfortunately, I only got 9 ticks, even though it went further than that. I only captured 9 ticks on the trade, but that was fine. And so then at that point, I didn't take any more trades on this chart, even though, let's see, even though still to this time right now at 9:50, there still has not been a single entry that has not worked on this chart. So moving on here to the next chart that I traded on for trade number 3. All right, here we go. So trade number 3, right here at 7:43 in the morning. This was interesting because at this point, the price had gone up to the previous day close and got rejected and sent back down. And I was thinking at this point, I was kind of originally expecting this to be like one leg. And so I was thinking maybe we would get to the top of a second leg, which would get us back to the opening price. Now, when it came back down, I was thinking, okay, well, and if you go back to my live stream and check it out, you'll hear me say at some point, well, if it breaks this level and continues to go down, then this could be a really down day. And there's a lot of room, because the first test is just the lows of the day, and then there's even further room to go to, you know, the previous lows of the day before yesterday. So really there was a lot of room down there if it had turned down. And so I was saying it'll be interesting to see if this area of the previous day low, where this red line is, will hold and be support again as it was here. And so this set up a first entry, hard to see, but this candle right here ticked above this candle. So that's a first entry. And then here was the second entry. And so it wasn't right off of the support level of the previous day close, but it was close enough to it that I figured I had plenty of room to get my scalp. And I did. I got 10 ticks. This trade now, I traded on Eval 27, came up on my wheel next, as well as evaluation 35. I decided to keep trading it since I have limited days to either get it back to what I'd like to do at the minimum is get it back to starting balance and full drawdown before it renews for the 80% off. So got that trade on that chart. And that's the only trade I ended up taking on this chart here. This chart eventually did have a loser over here, although it's subjective whether it's really a loser or not, because there was potentially a reset. So could have considered it could have considered this a first entry and not a second entry, depending on if you say this is, here, let me zoom in. Depending on if I say this is first entry, second entry here that failed, or this could just be a first entry. And well, and then in that case, this would be the second entry here that would have failed. So, but I wasn't playing the chart anymore, and I wasn't trading anymore at that point. And that is the thing. That is the reason why I try to stop between 9:30, typically, because this is where you start to see some losses start to occur after 9 o'clock towards 9:30. Just in my observation, the past couple months trading this way, it's the time where if you have a chart that's been perfect all day and all session since the open the previous day, it just seems to be about the time where I notice losses begin to happen. And so the longer you trade from that point on, if a chart hasn't had a loss yet, the more likely a loss is going to come at that point in my estimation. So I like to wrap it up by then, and that's why I finished at 4.0 today. And if I kept going, maybe I would be 4-1 now, who knows. So that was my third trade. And then let's move on to my fourth trade. All right, so here we go. Here's the whole chart for the chart that I took my fourth trade. Again, this is now the third chart that I've shown right here. Every single second entry on this chart has worked for my profit target, and so I just go from chart to chart. I take the next best, really not even the next best, the next entry that I can take, and I try to take virtually every entry that happens. Now I miss entries because I'm looking at other charts, or I now have some very limited rules why I won't take a trade. I won't trade into key levels, so a previous close or a previous day's low. If there was a short to go into the previous day's low, I wouldn't short into it. If there was a long to go into the previous day's close, I wouldn't long into it. I will only trade off of them as support and resistance. And that's essentially what happened here. Let's see here. It's essentially how I traded here is, and again, my wheel picked PA number 2 to be my fourth trade. And I traded again, Eval 35 as well, for the same reason I just said a second ago. I'm just trying to get to break even or starting balance and full drawdown by the time the renewal happens, I think next week. So this was a case where there has been rejection at the previous day's close level, and it was rejecting here and then got a first entry, second entry short. This is going right into the EMA. So, you know, if you're a Mac trader, Pat's trader, you might not like this trade. It's also engulfing. But for me, you know, there's no rule in play here to not take a trade. And it's also rejecting off of that previous day close purple price right there on that line. And so I took the trade. I will admit, and I said it in my live stream, this one made me nervous, especially because it was on PA2, which was and is my best current PA account, best standing account. Just less than $1,000 away. So took this trade. I only got 9 ticks on it. It was a little disappointing because definitely there was room to get more, capture more on that trade. But I'll take the 9 ticks, $82 on that account, and slowly grinding my way back, hopefully towards the payout goal. So yeah, I think today was a good day. Had a good day in the live stream. Couple of visitors that have been visiting lately that have been chatting with me, so that makes the stream more enjoyable. I'm able to talk more and have some conversation, and makes the day pass faster, and just makes I think my stream better. So if you haven't been checking it out every day, you can always come check out my live stream again between 10 and 12:30 East Coast. And if you're just catching this review for the first time and you want to see how these trades, any of these trades played out, I leave all my live streams up, win or lose, every single day. So you'll see, like last week, there was a day where I only went 3 and 4, which was my worst trading day of the year. And I will never delete a video. You'll always see my wins and you'll always see my losses. You'll always see all of my trades on the stream, and you'll always see my accounts, the balances, the P&Ls, the progress or the non-progress, and my full stats. And that's something that's really important to me. Doing this channel on YouTube is, you know, that I'm just showing an average guy trying to figure out how to trade futures here on NQ, and win, lose, pass or fail, you're going to see it. So check out the live stream. You can go back and watch all the trades as they played out live. And what else can I say here? Again, let me just bring up the stats. So there's all the accounts, 4 and 0 for the day. And yeah, just really, it's all about finding consistency, right? And I think that's where I'm at. I'm finding consistency. I'm trusting my system. I'm not being too greedy. I mean, there's more trades I could have taken. I could be more risky. I could easily have gotten 8 trades. I probably would have picked up a loss if I kept trading at this point. But I also easily could have had about 8 trades today in total. But there were a couple of trades that I chose not to take because it was either trading into a key level that I don't want to trade into, or it was kind of a gray line where I'm just trying to figure out what my rules are going to be exactly, because there are situations where, let's say, I don't know if I can find it here, but let's say the bar closes here. I mean, here's kind of an example, but it's not a trade. It's not a second entry, but the bar closed above the previous day close here. And then this bar got rejected from it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be willing to take an entry below this bar if it gets triggered below because the bar closed above it. If this happened to be a second entry, I think that will be my rule, is I can still take this trade even if it closes above, as long as it triggers below. But then if it closes above and triggers above, then I cannot take the trade to go short, because I will be trading right into that line and it could act as support instead of resistance and bounce it up. So that's kind of my thinking. There's a little bit of a gray area that I've got to figure out and keep observing to decide exactly how my rule is going to work. And it did keep me out of one or two trades today when it was kind of like close to these levels. There might have been one in here. This was a trade that I actually almost considered taking. This was a new high, first entry, and then a second entry above here. And this was a good example because this bar closed below the previous day low, this red line, but then it triggered above it. And so I was kind of like hesitant 50-50, thinking I could probably take this trade because it was triggering above the previous day low red line, and so it could still act as support and give me enough lift to get my profit target, which in this case it did. It would have worked for my minimum profit target, but then as you can see, it then just after that directly rejected down. And so that was my thinking. It's kind of both in one. It's an example of both things, how the support worked enough for my profit target, but also that I was right to skip it because maybe it wouldn't have hit my profit target. It's entirely possible that it wouldn't go that far because it closed below and then gets rejected, and then maybe it turns into a loss. So I think I did the right thing by skipping it. Also, it would have been on my PA7 account, was the next trade, or the next account that I was supposed to trade. So in this case, I think I did the right thing by not taking the trade, even though it worked. So I want to observe as I move forward, how many times does it work in a situation like this where it closes below but triggers above, and to use it as support, or how many times does it not make it there and just goes on to lose. So I think I did the right thing by skipping that trade there. And then I was talking, I might have missed another trade somewhere along the way before I stopped. And then about 9:15, 9:20, I decided, you know what? So that's over here. 9:15, 9:20, I decided, you know what? I'm 4-0 for the day. I'm happy with the day. When you add up the accounts, up just shy of $700, $698. So, if you can imagine, if these were all PA accounts being traded today, that would be a $700 day. And I think that would be fantastic. I'd take a $700 day across my accounts every day. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm spreading it out across multiple accounts. I got my risk management built into the way I'm trading my accounts, as well as the way I'm trading my charts, as well as my time window of when I'm willing to trade for the day. And I think I've said it all. Again, 4-0 today, 134 wins and 32 losses for the year, 81%, 11-1 for the week. A really great week so far. Hope to finish it out strong tomorrow, 92%. 2 back-to-back days of 4-0. Hopefully I'll have a good Friday tomorrow and finish out this week strong. And very close to, very, very close now to, let's see, potentially passing this evaluation soon. Just a little over $700 away from passing this account, as well as this account. I'm just $250 away from passing. And so those are in really good shape. Then I have a couple other accounts that are still in good shape, but still some work to do. And as you know, PA2, about $1,000 away from qualifying for a payout there. And both of these accounts are basically, roughly just slightly below starting balance. So got a good amount of drawdown, plenty to work with. And so, yeah, everything is looking good right now. The only account not in good shape is this account 35, which I'm going to start trading more aggressively. And let's see, this should actually say day 8 now. And I think I did change this to 29. I think that's correct. I don't think I changed this one. This should be day 14 now, I believe. I'll double check these after I record this video. And I'll have to check this if I change. I don't think I did change it. I think this is probably day 17. But I'll go back and check and make sure that these are all right, all correct for tomorrow's stream. So in any case, I hope you had a good trading day. Thanks for watching this. Like and subscribe if you think this is at all interesting, and we will see if I'm able to take any of these accounts to payout and pass some more evaluations and get some more PA fees. All right, I'm losing my voice. I've said it all, and it's time to go. Have a good day. If you're still trading, good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.